What is going on, everybody? Back on it, House of the Dragon, Episode 2. Episode 1 was fantastic. Loved it from top to bottom. The writing, the characters, CGI, everything was just great. And it was just so nostalgic to see that that everybody else thought the same thing. Everybody on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're looking, Facebook, etc. Like, to see that buzz for, I'm just gonna like categorize it under Game of Thrones, to see that buzz for it again, because I would say the first type of reactions I started watching was Game of Thrones stuff way back, and that's essentially what we started with, kind of after, I guess, Dragon Ball content. Just amazing stuff to see, the buzz, like you can feel the energy. I don't see anybody complaining about anything. I mean, it's out there, you know. Everybody can't live everything. It was just amazing. So we'll see what episode 2 has to offer. Left off with them at least attempting to pit brother v brother, uncle v niece. His daughter was named Heir. Now I'm curious if he remarries or has a bastard, technically. Does that son, like, he's the king, so at any point he could just change it. But let's say he got remarried and had a son. Would that son take precedent? Like, would that son take priority over her, even though she was named? Or would she be named queen because she was named, and then the son would be next in line? I have a feeling if he had a son, it's just automatically put in. But maybe others might think, hey, I swore to her, so you can't like change it. I could see it going that way because they're pitting, Daemon and her, but Alicent too. Now we're gonna pin best friend against best friend. I don't know how fertile she is or anything crazy like that, but it's very. I think she did lay with the king. Now I don't know if it was just a one-time thing and she just got pregnant. Like, what are the chances? That would be crazy. Or do her and the king actually develop a relationship? Now I don't know how they deal with like bastard things and not married and all that type of thing. If they do get married and they have a son, I would think rules would just give the son priority. But I could see people saying, no, hey, I swore to this. I mean that could be what the conflict is. Support the son, like the soon-to-be-born son, or what was already sworn to be the heir. We'll see. I see they have the opening, so we're going to watch this without the audio. I had to really darken up this screen here because HBO was not having it. I think I had to re-edit 5 times for the last edit, so we made this a little bit darker. I'm going to mute the opening soundtrack. But let's go ahead and react to this and see how it is. Pressing play right now. I'm kind of hyped that they kept the same theme. The blood running throughout is pretty dope. Oh. Oh! That person's alive! We're starting out like that. Just go and burn them out. Get on Dragonback and go and snuff their asses out.
It isn't that simple, Rhanerya.
It would be a show of force.
At least the princess has a plan.
This is, I mean, she is heir, but
I only meant that we should at least.
Perhaps
Otto.
better use for the princess's talents.
Oh, okay. I didn't mind the idea. Pulling a Daenerys, hopping on Dragonback, and just go scorch Earth real quick. A little drive-by, in and out. Oh, the dude from the tournament, right? That's him, correct? She's making. There's just moves you have to make. I agree with what she's saying. I also see what he's saying. He's playing the game.
The Valyrian capital was
Hightower's playing the game.
much like Dragonstone.
She's playing real life.
The Dragon Lords, the highest of the nobility.
Last time we saw someone try to play real life,
The volcanic face.
Ned Stark lost his head. Oh god, they're spending time together. Oh shit. Yeah.
Truly wondrous what you've built.
Surely he doesn't take her for a wife, does he? Oh, so kind of like how I brought up at the beginning. It looks like if he does get remarried and births a son, like she's out. So she's the written in plan, but he can still seek options. But if worse comes to worse and he just like wakes up and gets poisoned or gets his head taken off or something, she's just like, emergency, put her in. Ah, and now she's pushing that seed towards her the same way her father wanted that to. So it all works out. I mean, it doesn't work out. It's going to be bad, but we already know he's got his eyes on something. It's not bad, though. Like, again, they're playing the game, and he's not even thinking like that at all. Dang, and the conversation ended. I thought she might go off on it. Are those just maggots? Oh my god, the finger from the cut. Woof! That shit ain't coming back, is it?
This is Corlys and Princess Rhanerya.
He doesn't want to hear this shit because he wants his daughter married or somehow spitting out his baby.
He proposed a marriage.
He does not want it. Yeah, he didn't like that.
I'm doing.
Yeah, I got 2 more members of the small council right here, so speak.
What is your advice, dear Otto?
If he says his daughter, then you know where his mindset is too. Planting the seeds. Otto's playing the game. He's got his little finger going. He's not as forward and quick-witty as Littlefinger, but that man plays the game. Oh, that's her? Okay, I thought it was gonna be like Hightower's age, like 15, 16. This chick is 7. She can't even produce a kid if they tried. Oh my god. This is worse than Otto sending his daughter. Because it's like, holy hell. Well, I don't expect anything to happen. Otto was like, hey, we'll put on that dress. Wink, wink. That is another thing. Like, okay, it won't happen till you're 14. That's fine. No, I mean, it's not fine, but good God. That was a good back and forth right there between them. Might be the best conversation. Might be the best conversation of the first 2 episodes so far. Is he talking to Alicent or is he... Oh my god. He's spilling to her. I mean, he's also in a... His heart's broken. He essentially killed his wife, and then his son had to send his brother off. His daughter doesn't speak to him. He needs somebody to vent to. Yeah, unless you're going to send the whole realm. I don't want to know if I want the king riding up there like that. Do I want to hear this send-off message he's going to give to his daughter right here? Better lay with that man by the time I get back type shit. I guess he's thinking, hell, if she can get pregnant fast enough, maybe he'll just want to wed her because, you know, she's already pregnant, might as well. So he's at Dragonstone with a paid-for army, a little bit. His own dragon. I don't feel good for these men right here. Oh, the same one that whooped his ass. That's good. That's good. Why do you have her out there like that, man? He has a dragon. Yeah. They'll lose this. They'll lose this battle, but we'll get his ass on the way. We'll get him on the get back. We'll get him on the get back. Do it if you want, but I swear we'll burn your ass down. Oh my god! Look at the clouds. Nice. Alright, now we could throw. Dragon v Dragon. If y'all want to, we can now. We got 2 nukes pointed at each other. What you want to do? That's so clean. Game of Thrones didn't have this where you could just like square off like that. That's pretty dope. Woo! That's pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie to you. Because it was like when Dany would show up with her dragons, you just had to like... Okay, that's it. It's over. We lost. Is she gonna make her move? Daddy gave the orders. She checks every single box. If you're playing the game... she checks every single box that you could ask for. That girl hopped on her own Uber and went over there solo dolo. It's good to see him toy with that. Now here's the thing though, is he doing that because he truly doesn't want to, like saying all those things, having that private 1v1? Or is it because he wants Alicent at the same time and knows that like
Your Grace.
he wouldn't be able to and it's just messy and she doesn't want to hear the only heir, she wants to hear I'm your
That's it.
daughter. But he doesn't know that. The man is struggling right now. He's trying, but he's struggling. Everybody.
Dare to challenge us.
Yes, everybody. If someone kidnaps her or takes her ass out, like, the whole line is just
Not wish to make us
screwed.
estranged.
He's not going to say, I choose
Decided
Alicent, right?
to take a new wife.
He's not going to say it. He's not going to say that, is he? In front of his daughter, in front of the whole council? Oh!
The Lady Alicent Hightower. Before Spring's End.
Oh! That
This
hurts.
is an absurdity.
Like, what happened between the conversation that he had the previous night and then this announcement? What happened in there? And then how does she feel about I don't think anybody in that room knew besides Otto and... Yeah, she don't want to hear that shit. She does not want to hear that shit. Did he just go over to Daemon?
More ancient even than House Targaryen.
Did he just go up to Daemon? Knew it. Yep.
I wasn't aware you call this. Or was
No.
there some other reason?
He came to form an alliance and take the Iron Throne. I mean, that's just great stuff. I mean, that had the Game of Thrones feel. Like that season 1 through 6, the thing I've declared as the best TV, movie, anime, anything I've ever consumed. That episode had it from start to finish. That was like a Game of Thrones episode from 0 to the full hour mark. I mean, there's just no complaints. I have nothing to complain about. So are we to take it as, and you guys that are familiar with the books and this story and everything, are we to take it as that our guy here at the end is essentially what Tywin Lannister is or was in the Game of Thrones series? Like they are the richest, highest up there. And I think the only reason, probably, that they're not probably... Well, I don't know if they are in the world, current world. You know how just the name Tywin Lannister or anything like that, like, put fear, or you could say that name, and it would get you places, is the only reason that he doesn't have that same kind of, like, trump card of just like saying the name, because he says like they are the richest family in the realm, more than the current seated king. I think the only reason that it's not on that like Tywin in that Lannister level is because the Targaryens and because they have dragons. So you could say all this and have all that money. Same thing with Tywin. Like if Tywin was doing all his shit, but Daenerys was flying around with 3 adult dragons while he was going on, like it's not a contest. So I feel like that's the only reason that he's not up on that Tywin level currently. But it seems like they have the most influence and most, I mean, he says they have the most money in the realm. But it's just like at the end of the day, you can't compete with the dragon, so what can you do? I mean, the king had to know how that was going to go over. I'm curious, is that night to morning one thing, or was there passing time in that? The night he sat down with Rhaenyra talking about, I have to wed, I love your mother, I'm never going to be able to replace that warmth here in the Red Keep, yada, yada, yada. And the next morning where he chooses Alicent, is that the same night to morning, or is there time? Because I'm curious what passed and what changed there, because we didn't see an interaction. Now, Otto did say, essentially, go have sex with the king tonight. So did he like talk to his daughter and then Alicent came later, had this revelation and announced that in the morning? Or I mean, you saw the look on Otto's face. Like, I don't know if I can find it. I don't want to scroll through an hour's worth of stuff here, but...
I intend to marry.
Take a look at Otto's face here.
This is an absurdity.
They do a zoom in right here.
My house is Valerian. The greatest power in the realm.
He says Valerian, the greatest power in the
Your
realm.
king.
And Otto looks right at Otto. Otto's got this shit-eating grin on his face. That look right there. It's so bad. So I'm curious, did he reveal this to anyone? Or the king woke up and said, fuck it, I choose violence today. Because if you're playing the game, because even as great as Varys and Baelish and Tywin and the rest were at playing the game, and Lady Tyrell and Cersei and XYZ, whoever you want to talk to, they knew how to play the game, and they knew how important marriage and alliances and moving the chess pieces around the board were. So I feel like the correct game move to make there would be you marry his daughter. You combine the houses. You show everyone, like, we're not fucking around. I'm combining with the most powerful house minus us that doesn't have dragons, the richest. And you just set it up, and that is what it is. And I get it. Like, seeing that old-ass man walk around with... they said she was 12. If that girl's 12... maybe they're saying 12 here. That actress that they had playing her... if she's older than 8 or 9... she looked young as hell. And I get it. He's not... it's weird and, like, all that type of stuff. He just burned it. Burned it all down. After you just had Daemon talking all that shit, rallying people to him, you're really going to scorn the most powerful house that doesn't have dragons in the entire realm. Man, that's rough. And you scorned your daughter at the same time. She said, I agree, it's the king's duty, I've got to do this, and I understand what you have to do, you have to remarry, it's your duties to the realm. It didn't mean marry her best friend. Alicent looked a little shocked there as well, because he went to look at her here.
High Tower. I intend to marry.
He looks right at her, and she, like, you see the look on her face right there, and she's doing the nervous, anxious, playing with her nail shit again. And then Alicent looks right at her, because Alicent already knows what's coming, because it's probably already gone through Otto, and Rhaenyra's just like, oh, well, I guess it's being announced. Alicent looks dead at... I think she realizes right there, oh, shit.
The Lady Alicent Hightower. Before Spring's End.
I can't tell if Alicent was in on it. Alicent's being played. She's being used. She's being used by her father. It is what it is. Her father probably has the second highest seat in the entire realm. Hand of the king. He can pretty much command, do anything he wants. The only person that can supersede that is the king or a council vote. Everyone in the realm knows who he is. And just like everybody else, he wants to play the game too. He's no different from a Peter Baelish, a Varys, Cersei, Tywin. How can I elevate my house? How can I elevate my status and play it and move chess pieces around? And the chess piece that he has is his daughter. She's young. She's breedable at a breedable age. And I don't want to say easily controllable, but depending on who you're, like, we see some girls that are in this storyline, like we saw with Arya. She went against what Ned would say or would try to do the opposite, but like when push came to shove, even with Cersei, like when Tywin said, Cersei did. So even if she's rebellious as hell, like what Otto says she's going to do, or run away and go to the free cities and live out your life and pretty much give up the name, the titles, the houses, you're just screwed. Absolutely screwed. So that whole back and forth there was great. Seeing him go sit down with Daemon, great. And then this conversation here, probably the best we've had in the first 2 episodes. Because Rhaenyra's trying to make it seem like, oh no, I'm different. My father named me. They chose me. They bent the knee to me. They didn't have a choice. And if they get a better option, they're going to take it. And she's so naive and young, and then the dragon square off was absolutely great. Seeing the two dragons square off back to back was pretty wild. I was gonna say though, his dragon looked damn good. I like the sound effect they gave it too. Ooh, that's just good. I could sit here for hours. I don't want to hold you guys. I know not a lot of you watch this anyway, but I could ramble and ramble about this like Game of Thrones shit for a long time. It's just great, and I'm 2 episodes in. It's the best thing I'm watching right now, reacting to. Berserk is a close second, but it's just great, and I not so much that I want the views. Like I do want the views are great. I want to grow the channel. Hopefully, maybe get to 8,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That would kind of be a good goal. But the only reason why I would want more views on these videos is because I love the discussion with Game of Thrones. That's my favorite thing about reacting. Is not the reactions, it's the dialogue that it creates. That you can just go back and forth with people in comments and podcasts and things like that. So I hope a lot of people check this out just so we can have back and forth in the comments. That's what I'm here for. Great stuff. Yeah, that's all I have to say. They're killing it. I would give episode 1 like a 8 out of 10. You know, it was good to get back in there, get our feet wet. Can I trust them? This 9.5 out of 10. I'm always going to leave 0.5 just in because an episode could be better than this. So I can't go 10 out of 10 and then what? 9.5 out of 10. Spectacular. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe as always.